Dividend Kings, the top dividend stocks. I'm going to be pointing out 3 of my favorite Dividend Kings as of right now. We're going to do a little bit of a dive into these stocks and talk about them. I do have some videos on some of these already, but not all of them. Now I'm looking at the full list of Dividend Kings on Motley Fool right now, as well as their dividend increase streak, which is pretty cool to see. Now the main thing with these, yes, these are probably all phenomenal stocks. And Dividend Kings, what? They have 50 years of dividend history, as well as they're traded on the S&P 500. I love a lot of these stocks. A lot of them I wouldn't even consider dividend stocks. Like, let's call out one right away. Johnson & Johnson, low dividend yield. I'm not going to buy it. That's just my personal opinion. People love Johnson & Johnson for long term. You be my guest and buy it. I'm looking for higher yielding dividend stocks, and I think that younger generations, older generations, everybody can do with some good high yielding Dividend Kings in their portfolio. And the history of these stocks, speaks for itself. So we're going to do a little bit of a dive into these. We're going to look at them on Seeking Alpha, see what they have to say, see the kind of what the company's been doing, check the stock price, see what it's been trailing at, what it's been going up, if it's been going down. A lot of these stocks have a lot of things going for them, and I'm going to do, again, I'm going to gloss over a lot of things, but we're just going to hit some of the key points, and I'm going to try and get through these as quickly with as much information for you guys as possible. This was a commented video. Someone requested, can you do the Dividend Kings? And I've been putting it off way too long, but here you go. I should have put his name in. I totally forgot, but thank you for the comments. Let me know, guys, if you want me to do a video on one of the stocks you guys like. And we're going to start off with our strongest dividend yielding Dividend King. This is MO, Altria Group Incorporated. I've done a 5-minute DD video on this company. We did a deep dive into it, so I'm not going to bore you guys with those details again. If you want to go watch that video, I will link it, and you guys can go check that one out, or it's on my 5-minute DD playlist on my page. 8.4% dividend yield, paying out almost $1 each quarter, which is pretty phenomenal. Now, they've had a rough past couple of years, not only in the overall price going down 20%, but just movement. So let's hit some of the key points. Absolutely insane dividend yield, absolutely insane dividend history. MO, probably the best Dividend King in my opinion. Now, I actually don't own this one yet. I'm looking to do a starter position. We've seen it kind of move up and down a little bit, and I am waiting. I'm going to put some in my Roth IRA because I think that's the best place for this. So that dividend money, I don't have to pay taxes on it. So the main problem with Altria Group, with MO, is the future. They have a significant past, but we have seen tobacco products on a downfall for a number of years, which is not necessarily a bad thing for the overall health of the population. And Altria Group, a lot of these rises and falls have been to different spin-offs they've been attempting to do. They either created or bought the company Juul. For those that don't know, those Juul or those pen stick things, I don't know what they are, but they basically, it can be used for, I think, tobacco, even maybe THC. A lot of those new pens do THC. I have no idea. But that company was banned by the FDA. Those Juul sticks were banned after they were tested, and so that hurt the company a lot. I believe it was this main drop from that 56 down 26%. So that is part of Altria Group's Achilles heel, is that they're trying to do all these spinoffs. Most of them are unsuccessful. The past 10 years, they've been extremely unsuccessful with their spinoffs. But if we go to their all-time chart, they're up 7,700%. You cannot beat an all-time chart that looks like this. Maybe if it was still at the high, but their highs of almost $80. When was that? 2017. Interesting. Down 40, almost down 42% since then. They've been struggling. It hasn't been easy. The market has been destroying a lot of companies. But the future of Altria Group, that is one that we don't know. We cannot tell how they will start doing. But looking at Seeking Alpha, we're looking at their dividend right now. That is a thing of beauty. So let's see. When did they pay their first dividend? 3 cents in 1989. Can you imagine if you just put $10 into this, what it'd be worth now? I'm not going to do the math. Go ahead and do the math if you want to. That is phenomenal. They are now paying almost $1 each quarter. And their dividend history is solid. It's just phenomenal. I can't even believe this. They did some splits. I'm sure they've done. Seeking Alpha is pretty nice. It shows you all these things, and it shows their dividend history. The price, every time they pay out a dividend, the price is going to fluctuate with that. And we can see overall their dividend payout. Let's look at this one. I'm curious because this one in 2007 looks like it would be a dividend cut, but it can't be for this to be a Dividend King. Oh, no, because Dividend King, no, I see. This is each quarter, not each year. So they have to grow their dividend history year over year. They can even have less in the first 2 quarters and then more in the next 2 quarters, as long as they make that up and do growing year over year dividend. Because a cut comes when they either announce a cut or it goes down year over year, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So MO, absolutely phenomenal. One of probably the best ones out there. You can see it's just continued to grow this dividend, and now that 8.4% yield, I don't think you can beat it. Jumping into the next stock, ticker UVV, Universal Corp. This is another tobacco company. Headquartered in Richmond, Virginia. I think MO is also from Richmond or the nearby or city of Richmond. So kind of competition with MO to an extent, a nice 5.9% dividend yield. They are down another 19% the past 5 years, similar to MO. And growth all time from 1983, definitely worse growth all time, only up 470%. Now, still a really phenomenal dividend yield. Let's jump right into their financials. Check this thing out. An insane dividend jump from 55 cents a quarter to 75 cents a quarter in 2018. They haven't done a split for quite a while, but we can see they've been performing adequately. You're not buying these ones for the price appreciation. It seems MO may have some potential there. And I mean, UVV is doing pretty well, but it's going to run into the same problems that MO runs into when it comes to tobacco. Now, I know a lot less about UVV just because MO is such a big stock and I've been doing research on it for so long, but they're going to run into similar issues with the growth of tobacco, which is negative. People are not smoking as much as they used to. They're having to create a lot of different types of products to try and get people to use them. But the only bonus on the side of these companies is that nicotine is extremely addictive, and so they have different I believe even MO has tobacco-less products that still provide nicotine. Again, I don't smoke, I don't use nicotine or anything like that, so I'm not an expert on what they have, but I like to look at the financials and have them tell me, kind of paint the picture for me. So relatively decent financials. They have been struggling like we looked at on the chart. Their net income, interesting change in net income. I need to guess this. This is old, but they have it. They've been growing their income, but had a drop 2021 and are seeing it grow again overall net income, which is nice to see. Let's compare that to MO's. We'll see what they have. A lot more net income, but also took a terrible hit in 2020 and even had a better year. Of course, this is when they spiked and the share price was almost at $80. But back to UVV, I'm moving back over. Definitely some solid financials. I like seeing the growth when it comes to a stock. I don't own this one either, but I'm debating it, at least having some. I wonder how this one reacts when Altria takes a dive, if UVV jumps up or what. But all in all, not a terrible. Interesting. I want to see their payout ratio, but I don't see them. Payout date. You might need to have. I don't remember what exactly I had. 4-year average dividend yield 6%. You can't beat that. So yeah, it's a good one to watch. I'm not saying to buy any of these, but these are Dividend Kings for a reason. They have safety. Relatively, anything can get cut. Don't forget that. Any stock can get cut. So jumping into our last one, which is a different sector altogether, LEG, Leg and Platt. So they own a number, I think they own like Adidas and North Face and a bunch of different companies. So they're more retail based. And so they take a hit a lot more. What I love thinking about with the stock market is companies like Leg and Platt are going to take a bigger hit consumer wise when we hit a really bad market. When inflation goes up, people stop buying clothes because they are. Yes, they're a necessity, but most people have enough clothes to get by. Clothes are kind of a bonus thing that you purchase. Where it comes to nicotine, if you're addicted, you need it. It's going to come for some people probably before food. Now, clothes may come before food for some people too, but I think it's a lot less likely. So with how the market's been going and people talking about a recession and job losses and how COVID affected everything, this will be interesting to see how it bounces back out of that. Now, looking at the long-term chart, we see that it has had another 18%. It seems like the whole market's dropped 20%. But if we go to their max chart, they are up 2,111% all time, which is phenomenal. They had a high in 2021 of $55. Now, it's kind of interesting. You see, this is after the COVID or the pandemic drop, where, what did it fall to exactly? 23. So then we start hitting stimmy checks coming out all over, and this thing just jumps. So what? That's got to be 100% run plus 130% run, and then just absolutely dies back down 40%. So that's how you can kind of track these things in the market. Who knows where this is going to go, but their dividend has been pretty good, and the all-time chart is pretty nice. If I would have bought this back in 2009, I mean, I was 13, but if I would have, you'd be up 120%, which is phenomenal. And that's holding through all these crazy drops and runs. 46 cents each quarter from the dividend, and it's pretty beautiful. I love these long dividend stocks. I've been transitioning more into dividend stocks. I like to talk about other stocks as well as market news, but I really like these dividend stocks because just getting paid every month, getting paid every quarter for just owning a stock is phenomenal when you get a stock that you really like. And their price appreciation goes up and you make money there, and then you also make money off the dividends. I just don't think you can beat that. So I like leg. I do not believe that I own leg yet, but I will be starting a position pretty soon. I like that it's in more of the retail consumer sector. You don't want to have too. If you only had MO and UVV, you'd be really stuck in one sector, and that can be dangerous, especially if government legislation puts a restriction on nicotine. Say they increase the age of being able to buy cigarettes to 21. I think it's 18, depending on where you are. Say they did that. I mean, that's going to hurt those companies. You're going to take a hit with your portfolio on that. Whereas if you have more, spread everything out, don't keep all your eggs in one basket, safer. So Leg has a pretty good history as well. We can see that they had a really nice jump from 18 cents to 25 cents in 2007, which was a really bad time for everybody in the market, but they seem to pull through, and I love to see that. That's why they are a dividend king, because they are capable of those things when a lot of other companies aren't. Look at a company like T-Mobile, not T-Mobile. T is AT&T. They cut their dividend. They were a king and still had to cut their dividend. So not all of these are safe. Sometimes the dividend cut is better overall, but now AT&T, their chart is rough. So we'll look at their financials really quickly, and then I'm going to wrap all of this up for you guys. Now I do have some announcements. I'm going to be doing more videos on these ones for sure, on these dividend kings. So there are so many of them that I actually didn't expect. My cat just jumped up. So let's see. Net income has been spotty. Took a really bad hit this last year as we've seen the market continue to fall after that bubble from the pandemic. So I don't see Leg doing extremely well over the next year or two, maybe as we pull out of a recession. Once they finally declare the recession, they're waiting to do that. I don't know why, but definitely some room for some growth. Hopefully they go back to, they haven't been this low. They were this low in 2020, which was when everything hit all at once with the pandemic. But payout ratio, there it is, 84%. So we're really not awful. What's UVV's payout ratio? Where was I even looking at that? That's financials. So payout ratio is important for those that don't know. It's how much they have to pay out for the dividend. 62. That I'm okay with 62. 120. That was the important thing with MO. Their payout ratio is insane right now. A dividend cut, I'm not going to say it's likely, but out of all of them with that high of a payout ratio, they have to find something that they can do. Now, that being said, their dividend payout ratio in 2021 was 260%. So they're coming down from that a little bit. And that is important to note. They did not cut it when it was 140, when it was 260, but they did not have consecutive years of a high dividend payout ratio prior to that. So now we're kind of coming to the trailing end of that. My cat's going to get in the way. So I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, a new one will be coming out with a few more of these dividend kings in it. I hope you guys enjoy. Please let me know in the comments what you want to see. If you want to see more of these, what you want to see. I'm going to start doing some vlogging. For those of you that don't know, I do consider myself a younger entrepreneur. I don't like using that word because it's super annoying. I am a financial coach, and I specialize in budget coaching, helping people figure out where their money is going, making sure they're spending it right, because that is extremely hard. And as we hit these worst times, you really need to know where your money's going. So I'm gonna start doing some vlogging, lifestyle stuff with that. I just did purchase a house. So there's a lot going on. We'll talk about that, how to buy a house, how you should buy your first house, what you should do, what you should try. I've learned so much just the past 6 months purchasing a house. It's a great opportunity. So As always, more stuff will be coming. Go ahead and check out my website if you're interested. I have financial coaching stuff on there. I have my blog where I talk about all sorts of things, links to all other social medias and stuff of that sort, and my coaching, kind of my coaching playbook. I just did cut my prices a bit as the market has been going down. Everyone's struggling with money. I'm not going to charge what I was charging. And I just appreciate you guys for watching this far. Let me know what you think. Hopefully we get monetized soon. I need about 3,300 more watch hours, so you guys are helping me with that. I do appreciate that. That's it. That's all I got. That's my whole spiel. More videos coming. Stay tuned. Like and subscribe. See ya.